Hey, my wonderful people, a pleasant evening to you. Tell you these filters, they really don't change me up that much, it's just the brightness of the lipstick and so on that I find fascinating with them. But listen now, beautiful people, let's get to the message. I was listening on a live, and I did a video as it relates to the whole immigration, legal fraternity, so to speak, consultants, paralegal, all of them. That right now, I'm sure that their phones are buzzing, their emails are being, I mean, their people are reaching out left, right, center, up, down, all around, because everyone, and I'm using the word everyone in quotations loosely, to say that those who are there illegally, undocumented, and may have even committed criminal acts, that they are fretting. I mean, they're probably having sleepless nights, probably suffering from sleep apnea. And a fellow came on to say that his wife, after maybe a year and or two, because I remember the consultant, it wasn't any immigration lawyer that was on the live. The consultant had said that if 2 years passes, and let us say, for example, I'm interjecting here, whoever is filing for you should suddenly pass, and that you can actually complete the filing process. It won't stop and everything just goes to naught. No, because you would have gone quite a bit of way in the whole processing of your citizen, well, getting to the stage of eventually getting your citizenship. You start with the green card or social security, then green card, then citizenship after a certain number of years, with a good record. And a fellow came on to say his wife, after 2 years, stopped filing for him. In fact, she doesn't want to give him a divorce. And I said to myself, when I heard that, I said, something is off. That makes no sense. Unless the woman is insane or suffering from some mental difficulty, defect, I don't think as his wife she would just get up and do that. And I said, I hope somebody probes and asks him why. And they did. Somebody did say, why would she? Did you do something to her? Because that's just very odd. And he said, well, and he was saying it quite nonchalantly, quite cavalier, without any feeling. He said it with a sort of glee and bliss in his voice. And this is not a false judgment call. I'm listening on the live because I'm going to tell you why I'm saying that he said it with such a sort of a glee or nonchalance. He said, how Jamaican men are, we cheat. But it was nothing big. And the host, along the two consultants, they just went quiet because they probably could not believe what he was saying. Somewhere down in the conversation, one of the consultants had asked him if he's listening to the words that are coming out of his mouth, if he's listening to himself. Because I don't think he was listening. And he kept repeating it. Come on, it's Jamaican men, who we are, cheating. Let me rework. Not just the word rework. Rework means the same as reward. Let me rework what he said. That's a part of us as Jamaicans. We cheat. What is the big deal? So I just reworked what he said. He said, well, we cheated and so on, but, I don't know why she's acting this way. It's nothing big. That's what the fellow said. It's nothing big. And can I tell you, I remember reading somewhere, is it the book of Proverbs, where it says, do not take a man's wife. Because let's expand it and open it. It's like you say, no amount of money, no amount of bribe, nothing can cool the level of anger that will sort of take over this husband when you take his wife or sleep with his wife. No amount, you can't pay him off. I read it for myself. And I'm saying that to say, if roles were reversed and it was a woman speaking like that, when they finish with her, verbally, they would annihilate her. They would annihilate her. Jezebel probably would be a beautiful word. They probably wouldn't even think of calling her that. Maybe something a little bit more derogatory in nature. Because the mindset among some men, cheating is reserved for men, not for women. It is unbecoming of women to cheat, but all right for men to cheat, because it is in our DNA to have multiplicity of women. It is our DNA to be polygamous, not monogamous. There are men who actually believe that. There are researchers who actually posit that information, that it is in the man's DNA to have multiplicity of women, that they cannot remain loyal and committed and devoted to one woman, that monogamy is not normal or not natural. So for those who, the one or two that may practice it, they have to almost go into a different realm, a different state of mind to live such lifestyle. And he said it very cavalier. He said, I don't know why she doesn't just give me the divorce, because what he's hoping for is that she divorces him, he finds somebody else, and let me also interject here. When they asked him, after she caught you and she found out, and do you stop? And he laughed and said, boy, you know how we are as Jamaican men. He had no remorse. He had no remorse. In fact, he really didn't think that he did anything wrong. He said, yeah, man, me apologize, but look, it's a whole heap of time pass, which is a year or two, almost 2 years. He said a whole heap of time passed. And the woman just concluded, you don't love her. You did love her. You didn't. Well, for me, he really didn't respect her. He had no and has no regard. And they asked him how old he is. He said he's 25. And I know we're going to argue the belief. Oh, Lord, I'm young. Many people who you see today in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, or 100s, it is what they were when they were younger, and they were not held accountable. They were not answerable to anyone. And that is why they continued. If you spare the rod and spoil the child, you will raise monsters. These monsters become adults, and they become even grim and deadly and hideous in attitude. And then it begins to show on the face. The guy took no responsibility, and they weren't chiding him, because they don't know him. He's not their child. They were saying, sir, up to now you have not taken responsibility. And I was listening some years ago to a program, to one of Les Brown's motivational speech, and he was speaking to a large cross-section of men, and he's saying men have always failed to take responsibility, and that is why they will always find an excuse of wrongdoing, unwise acts. There are some things that are not necessarily wrong, but they are unwise. The fella said, nothing no wrong. I'm putting in words. I'm expanding it for you, It's part of us, which is, and so, therefore, but, so what? Accept it and move on, basically, is what he's saying, because up to the time he would have come off the live, he never said, I really hurt my wife. I did her wrong. And I'm remorseful. He was not remorseful. He was very, very nonchalant, quite narcissistic and cavalier. And women, we have to reach to a point where we value ourselves, where we love ourselves, not too much. Don't think too highly, but highly. That because there would have been some sort of red flags initially. Do not look at the red and call it green. You're not colorblind like men. The red are red, and it says stop. Guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. We need one of them to lie on there now. Please.